Dealing with a thing over here. And then we'll be right with you. Bing. Bang. Boom. There we go. Everybody's volumes. East good. And... Poseidon. We should be live. Hello, everybody. What's going on? How you doing? Man, feels good to be back. The week went really, really quick. How are you guys feeling?
Excellent.
Good.
Pretty good.
Good. That's what I like hearing, man.
Eager to flap.
Eager... Eager to flap, he says. All right. All right. Why are we flapping again?
Because I'm currently butterfree.
You are currently butterfree. All right. Let's dial it back a notch so we can definitely catch people up. What happened last time, guys? What happened last time? Can we recall?
Well, they definitely tried stringing me up. That's for starters.
Did they?
Oh, yeah. So, first things first, go ahead and just put things into perspective. This is the morning that Jakob is set to die.
Yes.
Yes, he is guilty of killing a guard by, turning his heart into a block of ice. And, yeah, Kiana's kind of looking forward to it. We did go ahead and have a little bit of conversation between Kiana and Jakob. Just a acknowledgement that, no hard feelings between them. Meanwhile, though, the daring trio is up to no good. And for that, I think I'll go ahead and kick it over to Thelsa.
Yeah, I'll take it first. I was the first one to start off yesterday. Or
last week. It sounds like you're using your headset, Mike.
Is this any better?
It's the same.
It wouldn't be a Shackled game without some technical difficulties.
Yeah, as always. Just tap your mic for me. Let me know if that's... We can hear it now.
Using that mic?
Yeah, well, I just changed all my settings to the same ones they were on a second ago.
It sounds the same.
It does. It does sound like you are a little further away. I don't really know why. Talk for me now.
Maybe this will be better.
That's beautiful.
That's much better.
Can't talk into the front of my mic. I gotta talk into the side of it, or else you can't hear me. Guys.
Been there, man. Been there. So yeah, pick us up. Tell us what you got.
I started off the session, and I was headed to go see what happened to my Athame, because I went to go see Dugobras the week before, or the session before, and he was distraught because he had lost it, and he was throwing a tantrum.
It's pretty upset.
I went to go see Jakob, because he's the only person with a tail in town that I knew of, and it made sense to me.
Right.
And so I went to go visit, and needless to say, the guard tower, or the guards building, was surrounded in guards like usual. So I took some precautions, and I went invisible when I went to go visit Jakob when he was in his jail cell.
Sure.
And trying to be stealthy, I went to go ask him what was up and what happened to it. And in the long, he explained to me that he had given it to the red-haired lady, and that he didn't want the rest of the group to take part in freeing him. He didn't really specify if he was planning something to get out or not. He just said,
correct,
just stay out of it. I was like, okay. And it was about that time that the guards found me. It was the Blue Duke, and so he basically pushed me forward by pressing on my shoulder until I got all the way to the guardhouse. Didn't resist. I kind of just let it happen.
Yeah.
And I went to go see Miss Green, and she's like, "Yeah, he's getting hung, so don't try anything." And I said, "Okay." And she said that she wants us there. She wants the flurry there to keep peace and to make sure that there's no chaos that ensues. And we said, "Okay, well, I'll make sure that we're there." That's essentially what I said. And
you did. You definitely did.
Yeah. At the end of it, she nudged at the fact that we're not the best of people, and how nobody was ever punished for my entire family dying except for me. And I said, yeah, I know what happened to them, but don't ask questions, don't get answers, right?
In a roundabout way.
Yeah. I tried to get her not to ask because I knew that she would know if I was lying or not.
Yeah, I'm definitely aware of your shenanigans in that case.
Yeah. And then after this whole scenario, she basically said, "All right, don't cause any more trouble and go back to wherever you stay." I don't
Right.
think she said anything. Just leave.
Just get the fuck out of here.
You don't have to go, but you can't stay here.
That sounds like a very Bub thing to say. Yeah.
Yeah. So I went back to the flurry, and they were plotting the escape with their whiteboard and Sharpie. And I said, well, this is Jakob said to not get him out, just kind of don't.
And you guys had a kind of a heated argument. Honestly, like it was something that's been kind of a long time coming, right? Thelsa has done some things that, while not necessarily in the forays of everybody else, would be regarded as evil acts or actions, and has likely spurned people enough to do some physical things about it. Would you agree or disagree?
Agree.
Agree.
I think everyone's a little
Super
bit upset
agree.
about what I've done. But hey, you know,
What you've
You don't
done,
have-
you've
you don't
been
have
an
to
evil
roll with me.
fuck.
It's a little bit.
He's not wrong. You're a little evil.
the ends justify the means.
That's been thrown around a lot lately. A whole lot, yeah.
I can't tell you it's the truth until we know what the end is, but I'm gonna just keep saying it until we get there.
Okay, what did you guys argue about? If you can hit me with a couple of key pointers. I'm totally down for both of you talking on this one.
It was that Thelsa's wrong and hypocritical.
Okay.
That is the gist of the argument.
That's pretty fair.
That summarizes like the whole hour-long argument.
Yeah, the argument was about me saying he doesn't want to get freed, so I think we should just not free him. I don't want to look even worse in the town than we already do as a party.
Sure.
And you brought up the
My
point
argument
that I'm just murdering people.
Yeah, you straight up murdered some people.
It's like,
And also, when have we been ones to respect others' wishes? I mean, really, come on now.
it's true.
Yeah, I mean, you did kind of kill your baby sisters.
I mean, yeah, I also killed my mother and my stepfather, so.
Well, your stepfather we could have dealt with. But no, you decided to go ahead and, like, split your mother's head open.
Hey, I didn't do that of my own fruition. That was we just. I'm not gonna say I regret it. I mean, I'm happy it happened. Just I didn't intentionally.
You're watching through your own eyes, just like, no, don't.
Not even. I'm just like, all right, this is happening. All right.
Sniper.
Yes.
How are things going on your end?
Not great. You know, I'm having a crisis of conscience. To better explain why he had told Thelsa not to come is mostly because he didn't want Ulhime to witness this. I mean, it's bad enough that he was up for all these murders that he wasn't, guilty of, but there was one that was really heavily hanging over his head.
Yeah.
And, even more so, now he had accidentally killed a guard. In self-defense, I would argue, but he totally killed him. So he was hoping to avoid that kind of witness, the disappointment. I mean, if you're going to go out, you don't want to see disappointment in your friend's eyes.
Sure.
Past that, it was a pretty uneventful evening. Kiana went ahead and brought me some decent breakfast right before the end, and
She did say something to you. What exactly did she say to you about that?
mostly that it had nothing to do with my race. It was my actions and not so much what I was that went ahead and damned me.
Do you feel like she
And-
was telling the truth?
I think she had a real hard eye on me from the start for no particular reason, but, you know, couldn't really say one way or another. It's hard to go ahead and keep track of people who make deals with demons.
Okay. All right. So she gave you your breakfast. You ate. And then I kind of want to hear things a bit more from your eyes. Following your breakfast, the moment that you were finished, you were ushered outside.
Yep, ushered outside. Went ahead and got a breath of fresh air. They went ahead and gave me some new bracelets.
Yep.
And I went ahead and saw everybody who would be partaking. I was apparently a real dangerous mofo. They had like 6 guards on either side flanking me. The Blue Duke, Kiana Green herself, and the headsman himself, well, the person who would be, you know, performing the hanging, who was just a nameless man in a black mask. Of course, anonymity being a thing,
right?
You know, you want to go ahead and be able to live with your neighbors. And that's when we went ahead and started trekking outside of the guardhouse. You know, the sun was just coming up over the city. You know, it was a brisk morning. And shit went kind of sideways. Probably 2 or 3 blocks away.
It did. It did. What, tell me a bit more about it.
Well, we're just walking along, having ourselves a joyous old time when all of a sudden it sounds like there's an army coming at us. I mean, there are just a lot of footfalls, and we all go ahead and start getting prepared. Well, they get prepared. I'm just like, oh, shit. Because this is a lot more people than the flurry, right? I'm thinking, oh, man, you know, the townspeople are going to stone me to death. And while that's going on, all of a sudden, I see random debonair SOBs come running at us, like 8 of them. It was kind of stupid, but yeah, kind of sexy too, I gotta admit.
Really now?
Well, I mean, come on, you know, with horns like that. But
everything you say is so masturbatory. You know that? It's just constant slow jerk self.
Well, considering it was myself I saw coming at me.
That's not the only time he said that.
That's what I get for putting a mirror over my bed.
Oh God.
But no, coming up the lane, we happen to see 8 of myself.
Yeah.
And I feel this surge of power, and for a moment, I feel very green and flowery. But it was only a moment. It completely passed. The next thing you know, just flap, 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 flap. I've somehow or another turned into a butterfly amidst this maelstrom of myself rushing in amongst, you know, Kiana and the Blue Duke and everybody else. And I'm doing everything in my power just to kind of flit out of danger, because somehow or another I've turned into a beautiful monarch butterfly. I finally came into my wings.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a little more heavy-handed than that, though. Just to keep everybody on the same page, it functions as a very similar baleful polymorph spell. And as such, if he is incapable of succeeding in a save, a certain will save, if you will, he will forget entirely that he is whom he is. And he will become just that, a butterfly. Nothing else to him. No abilities, no spells, short life, nothing really to live for other than to be admired by those 12 feet underneath you.
Well, it admired and, you know, get my butterfly rocks off and get drunk on rotten food, but yeah, that's neither here nor there. I'm going to be a rock star butterfly.
And then he's going to die in a week.
God, why you got to go ahead and focus on the negative?
I give it 3 hours.
He's gonna move into sashes.
Oh, that's fuck. I give it 3 hours. That's good. I appreciate that. Let's talk about Sasha while we're at it. That's something that I feel like wasn't spoke of much.
Well, I mean, it kind of helps in explaining how there were 8 of me there.
Yeah.
That was all me, baby.
100%
natural.
Yeah.
He went au natural, and then all of a sudden he turned into 8 Jacobs, and we still don't understand what that fully means.
Everybody wants to be like Jacob.
That's
The most inaccurate thing I've ever heard in my life.
That's the most accurate thing I've ever heard in my life.
So, we argued with Thelsa for a while.
Yes.
Agreed.
That took some time.
It did, in fact.
Following the argument, I decided to put our plan into action, as hastily put together and shitty as it may be. It was pretty much our only option at that point. So, first step in that was disguising myself as Jacob. Only way that I knew to find a reliable source of disguised self or something similar at that time of night was to visit the Shining Tome and Mr. Sasha.
Right.
So, not quite the orgy that we normally see visiting that place in the wee hours of the morning. Instead, it was quiet. Charlie answered the door after some vigorous knocking, and he seemed a little off. He seemed to be very reluctant to wake Sasha. Told us that if we needed something that badly, we would need to wake her ourselves.
Yeah.
And told him that would not be an issue. So he pointed us in the direction of the curtain that we've passed through many a time.
You guys have known that she's been powerful for a long time, but you
Correct.
never really knew how powerful. You didn't really have any ideas, inclinations, or reasons as to why, nor did you know why her comrade, a compatriot in arms, was that afraid of doing it. Even going as far as encouraging you to wake her up. But continue on.
Yep. So we passed through the curtain, and it was not the back room that we were used to seeing. Instead, it was a extraordinarily long staircase, winding staircase, with an oppressive darkness that seemed to snuff out any light that attempted to sort of reveal the way. So, lots of time later, when we finally get to the bottom of the steps, there is some very monstrous and heavy breathing, and not the kind we usually hear from Jacob at night. Heyo.
It's that mirror, man. Gets him going every time.
Can't help myself. Investigating the source of the noise, we found a very large hoard of gold. And on top of that hoard of gold lay a red dragon.
Pretty
That
big
red
one
dragon,
as well.
Yeah, no, it was fucking large, to say the least. As it turns out, that red dragon is actually Lady Sasha.
Okay. Go on.
Yeah, so she wasn't happy that we woke her. I think even less happy that we knew her secret. But she was still willing to help in exchange for a undying pact. More or less a favor to be called in at her discretion of all of us.
Yeah.
So,
And you
granted.
basically you bled on that. She made it happen. Yeah.
absolutely.
And nobody said a word. They just kind of rolled with the punches on this one. Because what do you really say when you are staring in the face of a dragon that large?
Exactly.
I mean, I know what a
Belly
few
rubs.
I know what a few past characters might say, like Horam.
Belly rubs.
He would say something close to like, "Yeet, here comes Super Jesus and fight it."
I declare smite.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Thelsa was just like, I've taken worse.
Maybe? Don't know. Yeah, things got a little weird. You turned into Jacob. That was the agreement. You asked to be shifted into a copy of Jacob. You wanted to look just like him.
Mm-hmm.
She agreed at a cost. She said that it's going to cost a favor. Favors are dangerous. More importantly, owing it to a dragon? Little sketch, but dire times call for dire measures, something.
Dire times call for dire wolves.
Dire wolves, and in that moment, the three of you were just that. You threw caution to the wind and went into the action of saving Jacob's life. But not without a cost. There were several spells cast. This riotous noise of multiple men running at this entourage. Then we saw 8 versions of Jacob sprinting directly at them before spear tackled to the ground by whom? Was it Thelsa or was that...
It was Thelsa.
It was Thelsa.
Cort swung and hit 2 of the clones, I believe.
But not first without using Mind Link.
Yeah. Use Mind Link so that we could cast upon the same targets and have a better chance of fooling them or succeeding in our checks.
So we're going to use some narrative control here with this Mind Link. I know that it has some rules to it, but when wild magic is concerned, things get a little weird. And it was but an instance. You were quickly back upon your target. And before you were able to put the actual Jacob into a form of a butterfly, where he flapped off. Or at least you saw it as a butterfly. You've still yet to find him. Klaus assumed the role of Jacob, manacled, his magic tethered from his hands, bound to the rest of his body, no longer capable of somatic components. You were ushered onto the gallows, and everybody followed in tow. The executioner was able to flap out a black bag, drawing the crowd's attention. This is a practice that was commonly used. But they missed the flourish of his hand, which sealed your mouth shut and pushed your tongue to the roof of your mouth. You were no longer capable of saying anything, nor verbal components at all. Thelsa probably would have got this mental link of fear, this moment of question or concern. Would Klaus have been that concerned?
There would definitely be some fear. Facing death on this scale is something that he hasn't really experienced before. I think it definitely struck a fear in him.
That's fair. I think that would scare any character of any level, to be honest. Unless, of course, you were like a robot or something. But in this case, you're not. Yes, it does break if you lose sight, but again, with wild magic shenanigans, I'm going to use a little bit of narrative control. I don't think that it was justified in the moment, and that's just one of those things. So, as he was donning the bag, placing it over your head, you saw something. You rolled very well in spotting it. What was it that you saw?
I saw the amulet of electrical resistance that was previously determined to sort of block all electricity from, at least magical electricity from entering someone's body. Preventing damage is the primary use, but in this case it was used in a slightly more malicious sense.
Yes. And you knew this previously. You had an opportunity to try it on, and when you placed it upon your person, you felt that it kind of dulled your senses, your electrical what have you. The MacGuffin that is your soul felt slightly numbed. It's like having an anesthetic, topical or not. And in this moment, when he placed it around your neck, without the ability to cast spells from verbal or somatic components, it anchored you and your soul to this particular spot on the earth. And then, with the mundanity before you, you were kicked. The floor dropped and you fell. And you hung. Even your allies that were there at the moment were slightly afraid. Because though you had gone into the fray of battle many times before and thrown your body onto the fire, this was very different. Never before have you subjected yourself to anything quite like this. And in this time, your soul never left your body. The element of lightning never was able to exit the space because it was grounded. And Klaus died. Klaus had an actual true death for the first time in 143 sessions. That's intense.
Yeah, and I think there was a whispered notation there that was kind of important too.
There was.
There was a thought.
There was that only Thelsa heard. At the moment that your body fell, just before your neck was broken, you said something. What did you say?
The flurry is dead. Long live the flurry.
Yep. The flurry of bros is no more. And that's wild to me. But it happens. Now, last week we didn't have an opportunity to see what Ulhime was doing. Did I miss anything? Did I miss anything in that recap?
Yeah, one key part is that the headsman did whisper to Klaus.
Oh? Did he? What? I was not there for this. What did he say?
Well, I mean, if memory serves, yeah, you went ahead and had the headsman whisper to Klaus something like, "You think I would kill my own son?"
Interesting.
Kind of a hint as to who did it. That's what I thought.
Oh. Yeah, I must have missed that part.
Must have.
Like, right over the top. That's wild. Yeah, it's quite wild, actually. So what now? What does Thelsa... What does... Yeah, actually, Thelsa, just Thelsa, because Cort is next to you, but he's got to be NPC'd for a short time. What's going on in Thelsa's head? What is she expecting?
She's not sure, because she did bring up prior that she wasn't sure if he was going to swap bodies or not, and that he could only do it for so long. So she's still in that nervous state where it's, I hope he comes back, but I'm not really sure. And I'm still kind of pondering what long live the flurry means, because I don't think he's dead. I hope he's not dead, but I'm not sure. So I'm just kind of sitting, thinking about it, and I'm not going to mention it to Cort, because, I mean, he's just going to freak out anyways.
And when you see his face, there is an earnest amount of fear, right? Like, it's pain at him. Sure, he's felled enemies. Multiple when needed, right? Survival is definitely a thing in this time, and in this town. And as such, he's never had to put one of his allies to death, lead in the assistance of that. Has Cort seen Klaus return in a different body?
Once.
Yes, because I believe Cort was part of the end of the original run through Occipitus. That's when Thelsa saw Klaus swap bodies as well, the only time.
All right. I mean, aside from the mask, which I'm curious, who has the mask?
I picked it up when he dropped it when we were in the tome, Shining Tome. That's what it's called.
Okay.
So I picked it up, and I figure we're probably just gonna stick around for a little while, because just want to make sure no riots fill out until the crowd peters off. Then I'd head back to the bathhouse.
To the bathhouse? I figured as much. So before I jump to Ulhime, I want to immediately swing to Sniper. Jacob.
Yes.
Butter Devil.
The Flappernaut.
God, I hope not. What's happening?
You know who my daddy is.
I'm disgusted already.
What's happening with me?
Yeah.
I'm trying to deal with the fact that suddenly I got wings and I can fucking fly.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure, that's a thing.
And the world looks really, really weird, like super pixelated, but like there's mirrors all around me. I can kind of make sense of it, but it's making my head spin.
So what would you do? Would you just immediately move to the closest thing that you could fly to, like a building?
Yeah, I would immediately move towards, corner of a building or something, just to go ahead and get my bearings because, well, damn it, flat, flat, flat.
Sure.
But once I've been able to go ahead and kind of ascertain as to what's going on, my current predicament, and the fact that, oh shit, I'm in deep trouble, I would probably try going to the one place I know I can find help, which would be the bathhouse. Because I'm not used to my eyes enough to go ahead and notice, Thelsa in the crowd or Cort. All I know for certain is something's wrong.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. Do me a favor, give me a will save.
Already? Damn.
Yeah.
Is this going to be one of the important will saves?
I mean, it could be. At the moment, you only have one luck reroll. Remember, guys, if you want to make luck rerolls appear, you can do that just by encouraging new subs. Every time we hit a milestone of 5, we will throw another one in. So they'll have a max of 5. And right now that would be 375. When we hit that, that's when you guys can give them another. So Jacob,
16?
you fail your will save. This isn't a compulsion. It's not a suggestion. It's an anatomical urge. You're flying around, you see in all directions, before you, in front, behind, above even, and as you are flying, you move over to a stone. You rest for a moment, as your energy returns back to you, and as you gaze at your surroundings, realizing that something very different has happened, you see milkweed. And normally you wouldn't
Looks tasty.
You wouldn't think much of it. It's not something that people prize. But you, in this moment, have the weirdest urge. The most bizarre urge. Milkweed is pretty key to monarch butterflies.
I gotta eat it.
More than anything, give me a perception, please. Jacob, you happen to see that there is, in fact, another monarch butterfly flying around the milkweed.
I've been trying, baby. Just cue the bow chicka wow wow music.
Your body pulls you. The urge is there. Though you have this certain celerity about it, you understand what's going on. The compulsion pulls you. It's innate. It's inside of you.
It's instinctual.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. And let me tell you, that other monarch butterfly, they look good. Now, granted, we're going to find out some curious things, but I'm willing to go with it.
Yeah, his name's Ralph. I'm not going to judge what you're like as a butterfly. You could be into some different stuff.
Oh, I need a D2 for what gender it turned out to be.
Oh, Lord. That's funny. Sure, we'll leave it down to that. I think that's interesting enough.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Do we gotta roll this?
1, it's Ralph. 2, it's Lucinda. Hey, look at that. Lucinda's looking mighty fiery right now as she bats around the milkweed.
Yeah, just wiggling that thorax for me. I see you. Mm-hmm.
Lord. Lord have mercy. Okay. But yeah, you recognize immediately that milkweed is in and of itself, it's like a there's just some kind of innate pull to it. You feel that it stirs your hunger. There is some excitement to it. It generally provides calming sensation. And if of all things right now, more than anything, you're pretty upset, pretty confused.
I need comfort food. And booty. Preferably in that order.
Well,
or at the same time.
I'm guessing that this is Austin.
Bodum.
Hi.
Ron Johnson Watson? That sounds
Big,
like
yeah,
Austin.
big Ron. Yeah, that's him. It's the lad. All right, guys, give me just a second to correct this. In the meantime, why don't you tell me what your intentions are here?
My intentions?
Yeah, young sniper fly.
You know, I'm a flippy flap.
Are you?
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and like put a little pause in it so I do a bit of dip. You know, show off that control I got, because that's what the chicks like.
Hey, do I sound like ass to you guys in call right now?
No more than normal.
Did.
Okay, because our voice connectivity dropped down to like red. I'm actually surprised it didn't drop us. What do we have here? That's going there. Radio camera is very close to your face.
Same spot it's always in.
It's just close, just a little zoomed in.
It honestly, like, I can't push it any further because even when it's at the wall, it looks close to me. I don't know why.
It's all right, not a big deal.
Bit of an echo there.
Yeah, I'll fix that in a bit. I'm working on it.
So we're just going to assume that for now, you have fluttered down onto the milkweed. I'm going to give you some time to handle that, to do your
I
deed.
need at least 30 seconds.
You got it. I'll give you that long, at least. This is where we turn back to Cort, actually, since we have Red with us now. Cort, you've just witnessed the hanging of an ally. Not just any ally, either. It's been one that you have commiserated with, you have planned with, you have proper distinction and understanding with. There is a certain tantamount of respect that is between both of you. How are you feeling right now? What is Cort feeling at witnessing this?
Cort still is unaware that Klaus isn't coming back, so to speak. Or, you know, in that line of thinking. His main thing is mostly to get away from the field, and look over the wound. He's not happy with how this has transpired, but it's better than us breaking into the guardhouse. Sure,
the wound that you have was self-inflicted.
Yeah.
Which isn't, you know, it's not tremendous. It's not a tremendous problem.
Yeah,
you'll be able to
gash myself open.
Yeah, you'll be able to take care of it
bandage.
pretty quickly. And it won't take much, right? Like, I think there was probably the likelihood of you even already preparing for just that.
Yeah.
Thelsa has this odd look about her. It's somewhat confusion. It's something that you haven't really seen from her previously. More often than not, she is very stoic in her resolve. She's not often shaken. But for the first time, you experience her with a bit of a confused or perturbed face. How do you handle that? What do you do?
I'm honestly unsure because in Means of Magic, Cort doesn't fully grasp pretty much anything outside of if it explodes, that's magic, all right. Um, if anything, he would assume that all of the magic might have weakened her, or in some sense, all of that, because they cast out a huge amount of spells to do that.
They did.
I'm kind of actually, I'd be pretty confused because
Would you talk to her about it?
No, probably not. But I'd look for the butterfly.
You actually didn't see that.
I didn't.
No, you didn't
Then,
see that. The only person that actively saw that was Thelsa.
Yeah. He might just make his way to the bathhouse and wait because
Okay.
that's kind of what our plan was. I'm assuming.
Got it. All right, then we will turn the immediate narrative to Ulhime. Ulhime, I'm going to pass the buck to you right now. I want to give you an opportunity to explain what you were trying to do a few weeks back. To explain who you're going to see, why you're going to see them, set us up, help everybody understand what it is that you're doing, okay?
Yeah, it was essentially removing the mayor from power. Seeing that the biggest problem right now is the people are coming under attack through taxation. Ulhime is essentially determined that in order for them to have some semblance of peace for even a moment, that has to stop. So, one, he's got funding to outfit the armies a lot more effectively, both the orc and if there's any cauldron guards that are going to be fighting would be getting that. Sorry. Outside of that, it was seeing that the mayor is potentially a demon of some sort or some sort of monster in disguise. He kind of just affirmed that, like, yeah, this has to end. This is playing into a game that's going to eventually lead to more trouble for the people. And his plan was to remove the mayor from power as well as all of the nobles, which is most likely going to be the founding families of Cauldron, removing them from power and reestablishing a new order.
What makes you think that he's a demon?
When the light was when the fireplace light was encircling him, the shadow that was looming over him wasn't that of a human at all. It was some tendril
It was something.
beast thing.
Some kind of beast, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And have you met the mayor before?
Once.
One
and
time,
that was
yes.
to see if he would be willing to help the people in some way, if he could get the nobles to outfit the armies with the looming threat below.
Yeah.
And upon meeting him, he kind of figured that the mayor was more or less not a good person, seeing that he's willing, that knowing that the taxation was already high enough on the people, that he was going to go out and do it again to one, try to smear Helm's name and make the lives of the people even harder to deal with.
That's a good summarization. I like that. So you went that evening. It was already pretty late when you left. You don't really need sleep. You pretty much need about an hour of meditation so you can reclaim your abilities back daily.
Correct.
Most everything else is just passing time for your body to heal. You decided to go that night. You didn't want to waste time. You did share some words with him briefly. What words did you share with the mayor?
I essentially told him I was coming from, that a new day in Cauldron would dawn, and that Ulhime would be considered the new Dawnbringer if he needed to be.
Yeah.
He would change its meaning.
What did he say to you?
Told me to be waiting, and that he's always watching.
Okay. And this is Severin Navalant, the mayor of Cauldron. This is not some rando. This person has a reputation. In fact, he's been seen several times throughout the duration of the campaign. He's partaken in many events. Some are more so in the forefront than others, but yeah. He's been an ally in dire times. Been very neutral in more times. The floor is yours. You're off in the midst of the night. The wee hours when it's far past curfew. You are well known in the Guard, primarily because you've made a promise to the Blue Duke. With that, you have been extended some graces. Amidst those is the ability to walk past curfew. Nobody stops you. And if they did, they wouldn't really be sure what to do, because you look kind of horrific. You're not fully healed. Your wounds still exist, though you are a bit better off than you were previous. You use the last of your abilities to make sure that you could at least speak. So your lower jaw has no skin. Muscle grips at its corners. You can see all of the teeth growing in just fine. The armor itself is slightly damaged, but you move. You know that you don't need any lamp, any light, or lantern. Do you know how to get to the mayor's home?
Yes. I would assume that given spending at least a year in Cauldron, I've walked enough of it to note the houses of key figures.
That's fair. Well, let's do that. Do you know where it is on the map?
Let me check. Do not see it.
Okay. The Lord Mayor's mansion is encircled with 4 incredibly tall stone walls. You've passed by several times in the destination of Magma Avenue.
Oh, is it the one at the bottom, like the bottom right towards just on Obsidian? Is it that one?
Southwest.
Like a castle?
Southwest side. I'm going to go ahead and pull you.
Oh, okay. Cool. Sorry. I was looking at the wrong one.
Right there. Everybody should now see that. You could mark that if you'd like to as the Lord Mayor's residence. Mark it how you will. But you're right. You've been here long enough. You know exactly how to get there. You know the amount of people that come and go, and how well it is patrolled and guarded at any time. Day or night. There are enough men there to scare any intruder. What are you counting?
You keep like beating the shit out of your desk and it makes like a resounding sound.
Oh, am I?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so weird. Oh, you know what it is? It's
Does your mic stand up against your desk or something?
it's against my chair.
that
And my
would
chair
do it.
is shifting.
Whatever it is, it sounds like somebody's just going ahead and just.
I got up to like
drum beats in the
24
background.
before he said anything. It was a lot in a very short period of time.
Yeah, I was about to say, man, you gotta tell those girls to go ahead and keep it down.
Some thumping.
Yes. Yes. Next time that happens, just say something. This is confusing to me.
It's funnier that way.
What the fuck is going on?
I wasn't
I'm
sure
a
if it was
showman,
Boof
okay?
or somebody else.
Don't
Yeah,
stifle
it's-
my creativity, you bastard.
I'm doing what I can here, man. You're going to get plenty of time with your creativity, especially with the introduction of your damn new character. First of all, that's not how it works. Courier is not wrong. Not wrong, but that's for another time. Another stream. So. Ulhime.
Can I get the mayor name one more time? I'm trying to spell it.
Severin Novelant.
Thank you.
You got it.
All right. So you said as I make my approach, there's a bunch of guards and stuff in the area.
Yes. You are aware that it's going to be guarded long before you arrive.
Yeah, I would assume as much. I would say as I start rounding the corner, I'm gonna cast Detect Evil on the first guard, I guess near the entrance of the estate. I want to
Sure.
see if I get an evil vibe off of him.
Sure, you cast Detect Evil, and nothing happens. There is no emanation from him. You feel nothing in that spectrum which would lead you to believe that he is evil of any capacity.
All right.
You get the feeling that he may have done wrong in the past, as everyone has, but evil intentions? No.
Not an aura strong enough to say that he's malicious.
Correct.
Probably a crooked guard of some sort, bought out or something like that. That's fine. As I make my approach, I'll also switch. I'll cut off that spectrum and switch to Detect Magic.
When you turn on Detect Magic, as you peer into the arcane spectrum, viewing the walls around you, the walls themselves seem to be fairly mundane. As does the ground. So do the men that circle the lot. But what you are aware of is that inside there is a very colorful weave. Arcane runes that seem to tie and tether to each other multiple times through builds a cocoon that cycles this place. It almost moves freely. Magic moves here. It breathes here. Give me a perception, please. How long do you intend on watching?
I would probably give it a good 10-15 seconds just to observe what's going on.
Okay.
What I'd say 2 rounds worth.
Sure.
That'd probably be. Yeah.
That's fair. You watch, and you don't really catch anything. I mean, outside of this almost blasting array of various fields of magic, various schools of magic at that.
Yeah. Seeing that, I'll turn off my Detect Magic and I'll make my approach to the guard.
As you move to the guard, he is startled at first. He does not have any proper lighting whatsoever, simply moving amidst the sconces that are lit high above, casting just a very pallid glare below. The silhouette forms before you. He sees you, and there is just a mild jar as he draws his weapon in front of him. Not in
What's he
immediate
wielding?
action. He's probably wielding like the equivalent of a halberd or like a long axe, something like that.
Okay.
He stops for a moment after that mild jar. He looks to you. It's past curfew. What are you doing here?
I've business at hand, oh boy. Step aside. More importantly, go home to your family.
I'm slated to work here for the rest of the eve, and I'm here to guard the mayor's house.
You know not what you guard. I'll ask you once more. Step aside. Go home for the evening. You've no business here.
I beg your pardon, sir, but it is my job. It's what I am to do. Now, if you have a scheduled appointment, then I will walk you to the gate. But I am to circle until my time is up, unless you are here with ill intention. You've never seen this person before.
Yeah.
He does seem to be of the sort. He adorns the proper guard attire, but he seems to speak rather well. Maybe someone in his family taught him how to read or to speak. What do you do? Do you accost him? Do you push by?
I'm not trying to hurt him, but I mean, seeing he looks pretty resolute, like he's not going to let me pass through.
He's prepared to walk you. He's even offered.
Walk me inside, boy, but I will tell you again. You need to go home after this.
My route's almost finished. I go home soon as I'm replaced. Come this way.
That person shows. Tell them the same thing. And he'll, I guess, follow. He'll let him follow.
He pauses, sizes you up again. Are you wielding anything? Do you have any weapons?
Negative.
Negative, okay. He's less afraid of you, knowing now that you aren't properly armored, that you are also not wielding or brandishing a weapon by any means. So he walks you to the gate. When he reaches the gate, he clings his armor up against the portcullis gate wall. A man steps by, he mutters a few words, and you hear the chain begin to round as the portcullis begins to rise. He'll nod back to you. These two will make sure that you get in just fine.
Very well.
He almost appears as if he wants to say something, but then he'll nod to you and walk back. See two elderly guards? I don't mean like geriatric, but they're in their late 30s, early 40s.
Yeah, I would assume so.
Stoic, resolute. They walk you in. Faces mostly covered in facial hair. Their helm that they have is tightly against the cap. And they assist you in. These men have long swords at their sides. They're not drawn, still holstered. Sheathed. Shields are lazily carried at their side. Do you allow them to guide you into the home?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, from the gate where I'm at right now, is it just those three guards, or is it like those three guards plus like two up on the wall and stuff like that?
You didn't get a good look at how many men are on the wall. You have no
That's
idea.
But yeah, that's fine.
From within side, you know that it is equally as guarded. Oops. Let me zoom back out real quick to show you guys what you see. Moving inside, there is a 2-story manor. The guards guide you to the left side of a slightly gated tree. It grows, fortuitously so. It's beautiful. Seems to be treated among the few things that are properly cared for in this location. At the front door, there are 2 more men. Atop, there are at least 2 more men that you see. This mayor is important.
So like 8 to 10 guards, roughly.
That you can see. You have no idea how many are actually in the home. They guide you in, and the other guards that are waiting at the door, they follow you through. This time, one in front, one behind. Do you allow them to guide you through the house?
Yeah. I'm not gonna try and harm them. I'm not here for them.
Okay, fair. They guide you through a series of rooms, down a hallway, and up a rear side of steps. There's a second-story room. You don't know what if there's anything else attached to it, mind you. You're just aware that you've gone up a series of steps. As you mentally map the layout of the land before you, knowing full well what it's going to take for you to get out just in case things go awry. There's a tall door. Wooden, much wider than you may have presumed. You see light shining from beneath that door. What do you do?
The 2 guards are still next to me, right?
Yes.
If you lads can do me a favor, tell Kiana Green to come here. I suggest you make haste on that.
Okay. There's a note. For a moment, a pause, and the rear guard actually leaves. You don't know how long he's going to be gone, but then there is a rapping at the door. The guard in front of you is knocking.
As, there's no one else in the hallway, right? It's just me and that guard?
Correct. He's waiting at the door. If you were to do anything to him physically, there's a very good chance that he would plummet, likely causing you to fall down the steps with him because he's in front of you. There's not a landing. It's just a step. It's a straight step onto the door.
Oh, so, okay, so I get what you're saying.
After a few seconds, the pause breaks. You hear him. Why come in? Please. A voice. It echoes and emanates through the door. You recognize the voice. It's one that you've recently heard. The mayor sits across his beautifully large oaken desk. He stands immediately. The fire to the left flickers. The wall is adorned in various awards, medals. Sometimes you can see that there are what looks to be animal hides that drape tapestries depicting momentous moments, maybe of this individual or maybe those that came before him. Where this stands, this has always been his spot, his location, for all of those before him. But now, in this moment he stands, and when he does, he seems to retether what looks to be a vest that he wears. He stands, throwing a coat back over himself, as it is polite to do. He greets you with a smile that goes ear to ear. Ulhime, I've been expecting you. Guard, please stand to the side of the door and allow this man through. His hair seems to sway down his shoulders. You've recently spoke to him about a tax. Or he spoke to you about a tax. You wished for aid. He looks onto the fire. You see his eyes linger on you while his head turns. How can I help you? It is awfully late, don't you think?
I'll look to the guard. Is the guard still there, or he left?
He's standing at the door. He shut the door behind him after you've entered, and he is standing prepared for further instruction.
My business is private with him. Leave us.
That's nonsense. Whatever you can say to me, you can say in front of my personal guard. Lest you're afraid.
As I've said before, I came to you asking for aid for the people, and you imposed a tax on them. I've already gotten the funding that they've needed. So I'm here to offer you a choice. Revoke your tax, or I have you leave.
Why leave? I wouldn't think of the sort. Why would I leave? I've done so much for this city and for its people. His words are honeyed. They drip with charisma. He moves over to a window, opening up for the night air. Then to the opposite side of the desk for another pair of windows. They creak. Wide enough to climb through, easy enough. He pauses at the second window before he asks for any proof, staring out, hearing those that may pass by below. Guards, their steed.
It was through your tax, through your first tax, that caused the riot, that caused such unrest.
My first tax? This town has been taxed many times. It is the way of, well, the world. And times like these, if we wish for things to be paid for, and the common people wish to use it, we simply cannot grow money. We must do what we can. Services will be rendered free to those there until, but it has to come from somewhere. And it's not a permanent addition.
You can speak how you will. But I've been in the streets. I've seen what you've done to the people.
To the people? You think I've done things to the people?
Usually, I've seen men like yourselves, or creatures to be exact. You wouldn't sully your own hands at the cost of another.
My hands have been bled many times, working in many places. I have swung an axe. I have felled the deer. Yes, I may have been fortuitously gifted with a family name, but I sought the training, and I worked hard. My brothers and those before me were in a similar position. This is elected. I simply did not ascend to this position sheerly out of luck. This is a democracy, after all. You understand how that works?
And you've been forthright with the people thus far.
I explain why these taxes must be levied. I explain to them the things that it's going to take to make these dreams come true.
You're not answering my question.
You're not very
I asked
clear.
If you were forthright with the people. I asked if you were forthright with them.
Ulhime, I sense hostility in you.
I put my hand up, and I cast daylight in the room.
When he turns, his eyes focus upon you. And as fast as you flexed the daylight from your hands, it stops. Now, don't you think that's a little rude? You thought that you would come here and bear no weapon, no fang, no tooth. Yet, I wouldn't expect you to come completely empty-handed. Go on, try again. This will be fun. My wards will stave off your divinity, despite how powerful it actually is.
I will cast Dispel Magic.
Your spell fails. He looks to you with a shuddered nod. I'm not dragging you through the dirt on this one. I hope you understand. There is no lie.
And the tendrils that emit from your shadow.
Tendrils that emit from my shadow. He turns to face the wall. Excuse me, guard. Do you see anything strange with my shadow? The man finally chimes in for the first time. No, sir. No such thing. Not satisfied, allow me to stand in front of a flame for you. It moves in front of the fire, and the silhouette that is cast upon the wall, his shadow. Arms flourish and move. Are you happy?
Very much so.
You came in here demanding that I make a choice. You said that I must choose to aid the people or leave.
Let me reinstate my words. Either by shackle or by blade, you will be removed from this place. The evil that you've brought here, and the evil that you are, they end tonight. And as I say that, I will do a non-lethal attack to the guard behind me.
Okay, so you're gonna make an attack on him.
Yeah.
All right, let's go ahead and
Not to kill him.
Let's get initiative.
I fucking sock him in the face as hard as I can. Slam him on the table. I pull down the zipper and reveal my 11 levels in Rogue.
18.
Surprise, that's completely incorrect. 18. You got it. I don't know why you keep your levels in your zipper. But
That's where Malgrim hides.
you really need to fix your mic.
I think your cable's loose or something.
Let's see.
Hello, are these words spoken correctly?
I mean, they were spoken correctly before. It's just every time you touch your toggle, it hits us with static, like crackle.
I'll just mute on Discord then instead.
Okay. Sure. You're going to get a surprise round.
Okay.
And that's going to give me a 13. Let's make everybody else a 0. A 0. A 0. In descending order, let's change our tone a little bit here. Okay, my friend. What do we think is going to be the proper sound for this? We're going to try this one. Maybe. There we go. You explain this by blade or by shackle, and you immediately swing back, striking the guard in the face. Surprise round. Make your attack.
14.
And you're going for lethal?
No, non-lethal.
Non-lethal. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So in order for you to do non-lethal, with a swing, you have to subtract 4 from your call.
I already
You're
did.
pulling your punch. Oh, okay. Very good. You're actually not going to hit. You're very close, but you're not going to hit.
Second attack.
Surprise round is just a primary attack. It's not going to be your full round action.
Then I'll use my luck reroll on it.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to try to not have him in the fight if possible.
Okay, go for it.
18.
That's going to hit. That's going to hit.
Cool.
Give me some damage.
Box his fucking teeth in.
4.
Okay. I'm going to keep damage. He gets pelted in the face. He was completely not expecting it. There's a bounce. You hear a jar as his body is thrown back into the wall, and you hear the helmet crush against the wall. There's a slight shudder, a shake, and then he is attentive to what's happening. It is your round. What do you do?
The guard's knocked out, right?
No, he's not.
No?
No.
I'll make sure I knock him out again. Try it.
Okay, go for it.
15?
Yes, that is actually an even or odd.
Odd.
It's an even. Really glad I used it on that.
Second attack. 14.
That is going to miss.
I'll cast my bolstering aura.
Is this like a spell-like ability, and what is its cast time?
Yeah. It's a free action.
Okay.
I'll let you know right now.
This is an interrupt?
No. This is that his golden ability that he uses. But since I'm not considering them allies, it's gonna go against them. So they
Oh.
have to make a DC. Where is it? 10 plus cleric. Wisdom plus cleric level. So 20.
Oh, God.
5.
It doesn't... Unless I nat 20s... no, there's just no way. He just can't. He can't make the save.
Okay.
He cannot make the save at all. So, yeah, what does this do for him?
-1 to AC, attack, and damage rolls for every 5 levels. So since he has 2, since he's level 12, he has 2. So it'd be -2 to the AC and to the his attack and damage.
Yeah, all right. And this
And it
also...
saves, yeah.
This is for Volantru as well, right?
Yeah.
Or Nevalant, that's his name.
Yeah.
Gotcha,
So he
gotcha,
has
gotcha.
to, yeah.
All right, yeah. Let's see. He might actually be able to make this. Is this
Oh, it's
Fortitude?
25. The DC's 25.
Okay. Is this Will or Fortitude?
I believe this one's going to be a will save.
Got it. I got a 25. I'm going to say odd. And it's odd. It does not affect the mayor.
No problem.
Go ahead and give me the damage. Oh, wait. No. Yeah, no. You did miss. Shit, that's right. That's why we rolled the d20. So, yeah. That makes sense. You swing twice, and he's able to dodge or parry with his shield that he's drawn up. And as you cast the bolstering aura, he fails. He misses this, and you can visibly see him kind of slink down from the effect. He's not exactly expecting it. On my turn, he's gonna come across, man. Draws longsword, and he's gonna make an attack. That's not gonna hit you, I think. Does it hit you?
No.
Okay. The mayor's actually gonna shout over, "Bring him down! Grapple this man! Hold him! Restrain him!" And he calls out the window, "Guards! Guards! I am under attack!" Okay. It's gonna go back onto you.
Try to knock out the guard again. -2 to the AC, so I don't know if that'll change it.
Put you at an even or an odd.
Even.
It's an odd. Secondary attack. Even or odd?
Even.
It's an odd. That's 3 in a row. Any other effect?
No, that's... I only have 2 attacks.
Okay. Just wasn't sure if you had any other kind of effects.
Not at the moment, no.
Okay. You're actually going to feel what you think is like a paperweight just hucked at you from behind. It's gonna basically hit you, but have no lasting effect. There's no strength behind it whatsoever. Give me a perception. Wow, very good. Yeah, you can actually hear that there is commotion outside. The guards are starting to rally, and they're moving up in your direction. It's your turn. That's definitely going to hit the guard. Without fail, it's going to hit the guard.
Six damage.
You strike him with another blow in the face. You notice that the blood begins to pour from his nose. You busted it. You strike again?
Yeah, how is he looking? I mean, is... Like I said, I'm not trying to kill the guy, but...
Yeah, I mean, you're pulling your punch on purpose, right? For a guard, especially with any kind of capability whatsoever, it's going to take more than, like, 9 or 10 points.
Okay. Ooh, not one.
That's a critical fail. Ooh, kid. Okay. All right, sir. Pick your poison.
You can stop.
Okay. You got it. Let's see. What do we have here?
He didn't mean shuffling. He just meant in general.
Oh, gotcha.
Stop now.
That makes sense. Wild. Wild. You meant to do that. Move 10 feet in a sporadic direction. Random. Provoke attacks of opportunity as per normal. So essentially you take a flurried swing, trying to strike him again, but this time with your momentum, he drives you off to the side. Give me a reflex, please. Okay, yeah, you're very good. You're able to keep footed at this point. You bounce off the wall, but you turn back immediately, and he's coming at you. Longsword out. He's going to move the 10 feet, crossing the gap, and swinging at you. Does an 18 hit you?
No.
Damn. All right. He swings, and nothing. It has no effect. You're able to basically just deflect the blade with your arm. Easy enough. The mayor has moved to the corner, and he's drawn up a few things around him to prevent you from getting to him.
Right,
Your turn.
14.
That's going to hit with your bolstering aura. Give me damage.
5.
5. Okay. You strike him in the face, and the moment that you hit him, he stumbles, staggers, and drops. He hits the floor, sack of potatoes. You can hear sounds throughout the house. The bleating of footfall. Men charging up the steps. What do you do?
I'll grab the blade of the guard,
Okay.
and I'll, as I end my turn, I'll point it at the mayor, and I'll cast Smite.
Okay. I need to look up something before you do that. Yeah. Let's see here. All right, what do you tell me? What do you tell me here? Oh, wow. Okay, yeah. You cast Smite, and you feel it trigger. This is not a spell. It is a supernatural ability. Somehow your divinity has managed to succeed in this place. At least in this moment.
Seeing as it hits him, my eyes will just narrow even more on him.
Anything else? You just narrow your eyes?
I did my first attack, and I picked up the weapon, which is my
Okay,
move
there you go.
action,
That makes
so,
sense.
Yeah.
All right. Give me a perception, please. Very good. Ulhime, from behind the series of chairs that he's nearly stacked up, what looks to be a coat rack as well. A standing coat rack. You see the man sort of cower, but from behind his hands, you see his eyes upturned, giving him tipped or pointed eyebrows. And you can see this almost devilish-like glare. You wouldn't have caught it had you not been focused upon him. Because your declarative smite has seemed to have some effect. He waits. What do you do, Ulhime, as he waits in the corner?
I'll, as I have the blade pointed, I'll yell out to him. I have given you your choice. Shackle or blade. Choose now.
Give me a will save, sir.
.32. If it's a spell-like ability, I gain a plus. So it would be 34.
Okay.
For
Very good.
Hardy, I believe.
When you say this, by shackle or blade, his hands lower. And he begins to rise. You see the pendant around his neck start to hover. And the shadow that licks the wall behind him begins to shift and change. And it creates a circle. Nearly perfect in shape. And as his arm outstretches, nearly inviting you in, his other moves as well. He simply moves his fingers in invitation. But the shadow shows multiple arms, almost like stalks. And the vision pales before you. There is no more mayor. The devilish grin shifts to rows of teeth. And before you is an abomination, floating from the ground. Teeth like sharks. An eye as large as your person.
The old classic, eh?
Try me.
So yeah, as I see his form take its true shape, I will just run and lunge forward at him. Straight into the big ass eye that he's got.
Make an attack.
With a long sword.
You swing with the mundane blade of the guard. Let's see what happens. Does he hit?
With the is the weapon treated as magical with smite?
I don't think it is treated as magical. I could be wrong. I don't play paladins that often.
It's not treated as magical, but it bypasses DR.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry about that. Just gotta
That's fine.
get everything right.
Go for it.
It's 12 plus my charisma mod, which is plus. $26.
With a 26, you swing and you miss.
Second attack. Possible critical.
Let's see what you get.
It was 29 for the roll.
It's a possible critical, but your critical still has to technically land.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm trying to.
It does not hit. In case you want to see exactly what this figure looks like, peer into the Twitch chat. I'll link it one more time. You bring the blade down across him a second time. This time, it strikes at his teeth. There's a mild flinch. An upper eyelid does a slight shudder, but as it rakes across his teeth, seeing how it has no effect, he takes his round. My friend, what is your AC?
23.
It's funny that you say that. I got a 26 with a 2. He immediately takes a vicious bite at you. The head shifts and snaps. Brings down right across the top of you. I will need from you a fortitude save.
I'm immune to those.
You're immune to fortitude saves?
Hold on. Let me check right now. I'll let you know exactly what. Since I have no Constitution score, fortitude save, and any special budget. Hold on, sorry. Let me read this.
Yes, it is knocked. It's been shifted to feature Pathfinder. Very good.
37.
Very good.
If it's spell-like ability or anything, it's +2. So
It is not.
39 potential.
It is not. You're able to subside when he bites down on top of you. You're going to take 30 points of damage as the vicious bits of teeth stab and rend through your body. You feel one pierce through your armored arm, and then again on the opposite side. He snaps down again on top of you, and this time, whipping you across the room. Give me a reflex.
29.
You narrowly keep your footing. The figure begins hovering across the room. And as the room seems to look odd around you, you're left in almost this like Superman stance. It begins to shift and contort, and you can see that it grows to match his size. Where before, he was easily the size of a horse, now he is mimicking the size of some of the previous monsters you fought. One in particular that I can think of in the city, a Bandersnatch. The huge aberration shifts closer and closer unto you. And then the lips begin to unfurl.
Are you ready to leave now? Or are you prepared to become a mere for the mayor.
As he says that,
One of the
I
eye stalks
stand
whip
back.
around, and it casts a bolt at the door, and it immediately turns to stone. The wall begins to similarly shift and exude this gray. It's about that time that you can hear the guards beating at the door, but they're not getting through a stone wall. His tongue whips wildly like a serpent around his mouth, waiting. The eye seems to dilate rapidly, waiting for your response.
I will. I'll cast Strength Surge.
You cast Strength Surge?
Yeah, it's a special ability to have. It's a standard action, though.
Is it a supernatural ability or a spell?
Supernatural.
Okay. It's your domain.
Yeah.
Alright, sure. You gain strength.
Equal to half my cleric level, so it'd be +6.
You got it.
+5, no, because I'm level 11.
Yes.
So it'd be +5. Yeah. And then I will move forward.
You move forward. What is the... Oh, it's a standard action. Okay, so...
Yeah.
Yikes. Okay, so... It's a standard action, supernatural ability. It's not going to provoke an attack. And you move forward. Are you... Oh, he's close enough to you. Alright.
Yeah, I can't do anything else either way.
Okay. Jesus. How long does your smite last?
Until he's dead, or until I, until I select a new target.
Why am I being added?
Added to what?
Added in chat.
They were just asking what the YouTube channel name was.
It should just be the Bubbernaut. That's me. Okay. I didn't actually know that this was going to go down like this, or I would have prepared a map and proper tokens. I thought this was going to go a little differently. But, you called his bluff. You reap what you sow. Something, something, something. And as such, in effect, the man's goes hard. So, buddy. He starts doing a thing. In his round. Oh my god. Okay. 3. Okay. Yikes. Are you immune? You are immune to sleep effects, right?
Mm-hmm.
I need you to give me a fortitude save. DC 26.
If it's a spell or spell-like, then it's +2, so it'd be 26.
Okay. Even or odd in your favor.
Odd?
Oh my god. The eye stalks begin to let loose a fury of spells that fall before you. You manage to resist the immediate effect of Finger of Doom. You did not die. However, you take 30 points of damage. A second
Since I'm
stock.
undead, that would heal me.
What's that?
That would heal me since I'm undead.
You're not traditional undead.
Oh, okay. Okay.
You gotta remember that. You're not traditional undead. You're very different.
So I take 30.
Yep. I need you to make another fortitude save as a second stalk lashes out with another ray. DC 26.
28.
Yep, you're good. You feel your skin begin to harden, but as you reflexively move against it, it snaps the stone that was beginning to fall over the top of you. This is a really kind of gross fight. Okay, per caster level. Okay. I must succeed on a touch attack. What's your AC?
23.
Here we go.
You said touch attack?
That's not right. Disregard that. Yeah, touch.
Then it would be 12.
Oh, okay, that's not so terrible. Disregard that. I critically failed. Thank God. Critical fail deck. You are incredibly lucky.
Whatever your third card you pull is after your shuffle.
So 1, 2, 3. Got it. This is magic. Mental slip. On my next turn, your target may give you one suggestion. That's it. It stops the rest of his round. He tries to take a snap, but his eye flutters briefly for a moment in the failure of it. He resists your abilities. Your turn.
Seeing the situation at hand, I will look to the open windows and jump the fuck out.
I figured you might.
Yeah.
Do you have acrobatics?
No.
Okay. Are you trying to clear the wall?
How far is the wall to the window?
It's.
I mean, I'm assuming
it looks like it's right up against it, but there is a small gap, and it's only going to be like 10 feet.
Then, I mean, if I can, yeah. But I mean, my focus isn't like I'm not gauging that accurate at the point. So I mean, I'm just running as fast as I can and jumping as far as I can.
Okay,
at that point.
so you take advantage of the momentary failure where the eye kind of flutters, and you
Yeah.
just fling your body from it. Give me an acrobatics. You don't have any equipment. You're not going to have anything holding you back.
He's gonna Trinity this one.
Oh my.
Oh
God.
my God. Right in that moment where you...
Saw Bugbear do this once.
where he critically succeeds. The major pog, right? You do. You whip your body right out of the window and you throw yourself over the wall. And 20 feet down you go. Give me a reflex, please. Very good.
16.
You roll with the momentum of it. You're going to take a little bit of like slight bashing, but nothing that's going to be lasting. Especially that's way worse than anything else that you fought up to this point.
Yeah.
In that moment where you threw your body from the window, you roll to the ground. Do you look back up? Do you run immediately? What do you do?
If his eye was acting all twitchy and stuff when he was trying to cast it, would I see him if I turn back?
Do you look back? Be honest. Don't overthink this. Be honest. Would you look back?
Yeah, because I would see if he's trying to chase me.
Okay. When you glance back after your fall, when you steeple over your roll and pick your body up, dust yourself off for just a moment. Your eyes glance up to the window, and there's the Lord Mayor, standing. Hair blowing in the breeze. He smiles and he waves. You hear his words on the wind. You have a good night now, Ulhime. Get yourself some rest.
This isn't over, aberration. You will meet your end. And then I'll chuck the blade. I'll use Might of the Gods, and I will throw the blade at him. Like it's
like an angry little kid. You're a dick!
Yeah.
Soft break, kid.
Go for it.
I'll chuck that shit at him.
You can't control me.
So you cast Might of the Gods?
Yeah, and then I'll throw the blade.
Okay. When you cast Might of the Gods, it snaps in front of you, and it fails.
No, that's a special ability. It's not a spell.
Okay, alright.
Yeah.
You got it.
$33.
To hit,
Yeah.
it's gonna miss. On top of
So I
missing,
guess-
the only reason that you're able to throw it this far is because of Might of the Gods.
Yeah. So once I would say I throw it, it just right into the wall. Not even the blade.
Probably
like,
not even the
actual
law.
handle.
Like it probably just whips by him, right? As he's shuttering the window, it probably just like right by him,
Okay.
nearly knocking his headphones off as well.
These are my Corsairs.
Like
But
to see it.
remembering that I asked for Kiana, I'm gonna see if I run into her at any point during the alleyway.
You don't, and you won't.
Okay. Yeah, kind of facing this defeat again. I probably would head not back to the bathhouse.
Okay, where would you go?
I would probably have wait.
Don't overthink this.
Knowing him, since he keeps fighting these creatures, he's probably gonna head back to Occipitus again.
Okay. You know exactly how to get there.
Yeah.
How long do you intend to stay there?
I would say probably about 2, maybe 3 weeks on survival on how to, one, deal with fucking negative energy.
Okay.
Because the place is chock full of it.
All right.
And 2, knowing that I'm fighting either some demon, devil, apparition thing, something not of this world.
Sure.
Being around otherworldly creatures like this, or in any aspect of it, if I can learn how to fight and survive those, then coming back it might make me stronger to fight him. But I know given the time gap, I would use that as a time to train, because I can't do anything with what I am right now.
Sure. That makes sense. Now, you recall that there is serious time dilation. Going into Occipitus, things are a little different. 2 to 3 weeks there is like 3.5, 4 hours on the normal plane. It's already early morning. It's not quite sunlight. It's probably still a few hours out, maybe a couple at most. But you take advantage of this, and you move onto Occipitus.
Yeah. I would head to the cathedral where the first trial of the smoking eye began.
Okay. Okay. Then I'm going to pass this back to Sniper. Advance the timeline again, a few hours. You've spent your time amidst the milkweed, amidst Lucinda.
Oh, let's go ahead and get the right tone here.
What's...
How fucking long have you been sitting on that now? It's been like an hour and a half since you made that joke.
That's the first thought that came to mind. Is you had that pulled up, so you've been sitting there ready for it, and I applaud you.
Fucking wait for it, man.
Oh,
Wait
fuck
for it.
yeah.
That's commitment, and I respect that.
Hear
I
that,
just
ladies?
wanted everyone to go ahead and
He's
listen
committed.
for a second.
If not for anything else, to his bad jokes. I kid, of course. What do you do? What's next?
Oh, well, after going ahead and getting my Butterfree on, no, I'm going to remember, oh, wait, yeah, this is important. I should be getting back. I'm sorry, Lucinda. I know I said it'd be forever, but I got things I got to do. You know, and then flap, 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 flap.
You get a
Again.
wingbat at most. At most. She doesn't miss you. You're gone. She's an insect.
Bitch.
This fucker. God damn it.
I gave that home my heart.
Yeah, that's exactly what you gave her, I'm sure.
It was in there.
Yeah. That's it. I'm sure it was.
So we're going to say another will save to see if I even, like, go?
Yeah, let's see. Let's see. I mean, go to the bathhouse, not staying on topic here, kind of. Give me a will
Yeah.
save. It's actually, it's kind of funny because the longer that you wait, the more challenging the save becomes. And what did you roll before?
Earlier, like a 13?
Yeah, I was going to say, I thought it was like a 13 or a 14, maybe.
It wasn't great.
No, your first roll was 16, wasn't it?
I don't know. Let's go ahead and scroll up. 16.
Okay.
Are you trying to say I just failed it again?
That might be. But no, let's just assume this time you succeed.
Yay!
That you succeed. Life is but an instance for an insect, particularly that of the monarch butterfly. Life is short. It is futile. You do everything that you can, or everything that they can, to survive amidst everything that is the real world. And here, you find that things have been a bit easier, especially as an insect, comparably so, but you know that it will not last for long.
No,
I'm gonna-
'cause I am aware of how polymorph is, and I know that I need to get help quick.
Yeah. I'm going to give you some encounters. While
Fuck.
things have been quick, shifting, and easy for Jakob, a medium-sized creature, a diminutive-sized creature will be quite challenged. It's going to take a bit longer, I think.